Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about the current state of GPO. Probably not going to put an intro for this one. I'm not going to edit it much either. I just want to talk raw about the game, my opinion on it right now, and how I feel about it. So GPO, initially when I first started playing it, was incredibly fun. Back in update like 1, I was excited to play the game, but I didn't really feel like playing like another One Piece game at the time, because I did just like hop off of Blox Fruit. So I did quit the game back in like update 1, and then I came back in update 3 because my friend said, "Yo, we should play this game again, give it another chance." So I gave it another chance, and as I leveled up more, I'm like, okay, I wasn't playing any grindy games at the time, so it was something to do at the time. I'm like, oh yeah, this is fun. GPO was incredibly fun. Fast forward, I'm now max level. It's during the ELO event, and apparently when I joined back, the ELO event was the longest event ever. So, but either way, I was still having fun. I went into dungeons, I was grinding fruits. I started my YouTube channel off of that. So I'm incredibly grateful for the game. But when update 4 came out, I was super excited. I'm pretty sure everyone was excited. And because the update was taking forever, it was like the longest. So I'm here in update 4, and as soon as the update drops, a lot of people are getting to max level because of an XP bug that I'm not going to blame the GPO developers for, but basically I got to max level in the first 2 seconds of me loading up the game. I defeated a ship that was coming after me, and I had like 1,000,000 XP saved up. I looked at my XP bar. I'm like, why does it say I have 1,000,000 out of like a really low number? And then when I hit the Marine, I leveled up to max. So I never actually got to experience Alabasta update 4, its questing, all of that. But at the time I was kind of sad. But then once I saw what the quests were in Alabasta, I was like, it's not bandit beating quests, but the quests that we had to do were not fun. It was delivering over and over. It was delivering cargo and over and over. Because Foyu asked, "Do you guys want bandit beating or cargo?" before update 4 came out, or delivering quest. My bad, not cargo. And everyone voted for delivery because we weren't really trying to see more bandit beating. But I thought it was going to be like a mix. I thought he was going to add cargo and bandit beating, not just cargo only and then that was it. So the grinding, I was like, okay, I'm glad I didn't have to do this. Then update 4.5 came out, and it's the Halloween event. Now we're back to normal bandit beating, but it's a little unique because the bandit beating has a purpose. You need to get zombie parts in order to fight the bosses. So it's not like you're just bandit beating. You have another reason to do it, which is better than before. I'll give it that, but it's still regular things. So the other thing about this game is the end game. So like I mentioned before, I got to max level in the first like 2 seconds, but there's not much to do in the end game. Well, if you actually read off what you have to do in the end game, like there's PvP, Kraken and sea beast farming, ship farming, boss farming, dungeons, trading, and in update 4 you can do car racing, which no one does. So it's basically just those other 6 things you can do, which sounds like a lot. You have 6 things to do at the end game, but those 6 things are not really that fun. Kraken farming and sea beast farming gets boring after a while, like especially if you're in a group of like straight Magus or Pikas and the Krakens just immediately vanquished. Like when I was on stream the other day, the Krakens literally vanquished. I'm pretty sure like nobody got credit because they was happening like that fast. But either way, even if you do farm normally and stuff, like 1 or 2 people, it's still not that fun because the Krakens, initially I'm like, oh, this attack pattern is fun. They slam down their tentacles, they do a spin move, they grab you, but that's it. Like if you have like any type of decent skill, you can avoid these attacks very easily. Like not difficult at all. So it's not anything like worth. It's not something to get excited over, should I say? And ship farming hasn't been good in like how long? Like it's the same 2 ships. I think it's the Galleon and I forgot what the other boat is called, but it's the same 2 ships that you farm over and over and over again. And at first, I'm saying, like, it's the way to get bounty and it gives you a chance of a fruit, so it has 2 purposes. But the bounty you get is so minuscule, you have to farm for like hours on end just to get some decent return. And the fruit drop chance is literally 1% to get even just a fruit, not a 1% chance to get like a legendary or a rare. No, 1% just to get the fruit alone. And then there's another percentage in there to get a rare or a legendary, so it's even lower. So there's just really no point in doing that. Like, imagine having something in the game where players are actively not trying to do it active. They're trying to find ways to not be there. Like I don't know how they don't see a problem with an activity like that, but that just doesn't sit well with my mind. Another thing is the boss farming. Now, bosses in GPO are definitely a step up from a lot of other Roblox games. I'll give them that. But once you get in a group of like Magus and Pikas, not even a group, if you have like 3 Magus and Pikas, and also another thing, if they have great swords as well, you literally just use their ults, and then you guys use your great swords, and then you just keep rotating off of those 2. And if you do it right, the boss can literally just never attack you. Like, he might slip through like 1 or twice, like get 1 or 2 attacks off, but other than that, you can do it right, he won't attack you. That should not happen. That's not how bosses should work. That's not how they should feel. They should feel something like a rewarding event. Once I beat this boss, like, yes, I got this 1% chance, which I'm going to get into. The GPO drop chances are questionable. Let's just put it like that. But yeah, you should feel rewarded for getting that 1% chance. I should feel happy that I got the Jester Scythe. I feel happy I got the dagger. But in reality, I'm like, finally, Jesus, it took forever. Now I can finally stop doing this boss. It's not something I want to return to. I don't care about his other drops. I don't care about the Jester outfit. I literally don't. It's a collectible, cool. I don't care. I'll just get it some other time. I'll trade for it, whatever. Like, I do not care about farming that boss because it's not something fun to do. I'm not interested in its attacks. I'm not interested in anything, and none of its mechanics. Like, in my opinion, the bosses should have attacks, like attack patterns. Like, they already have attack patterns, but like attack phases, like the actual, like, they launch off multiple attacks. They launch AoE attacks that actually are threatening. Like, Whitebeard already has like a decent AoE attack. Like, when he does Blast Clutcher, you're afraid of it because if you get hit by that, your HP is gone. I like that. I like his ult as well. Like, I think Whitebeard is probably like one of the best bosses in the game, in my opinion. Every other boss is just incredibly easy and boring, but even Whitebeard gets ragdolled, so he's easy too. So the other thing I mentioned earlier was trading. Trading in this game is, in my opinion, like weird. Like, it's weird, but it's, I wouldn't call it terrible. I call it terrible a lot, but I wouldn't say it's terrible. It's just weird. Like, there's some people trying to find set trade values, and there's some people like trading however you want, like however you value the item, that's what you should ask for. And it's just like a weird mix of people. And then once you actually decide, like, hey, let me try to trade something, one day you might get offered like Goro and like Zushi for your Mara, right? And then the next day you try to trade that Goro and Zushi to get back a Mara, and they're like, nah, you can get it here, or yeah, nah, I don't want that for my Mara, nah. And you'll be like, I just traded this. Like you could trade it back to the same person, and they'll say, no, I don't like this offer, add. I'm like, and it's just so confusing. Like I don't know. Trading is not something. It's not my strong suit, so I'm not gonna talk much about it. But trading's just weird. And another thing, the last thing I want to talk about is dungeons. Now, the reason I want to talk about this, actually no, there's one more. It's PvP, but I want to get to dungeons first. Dungeons is something that's my strong suit. Something I actively do. It's something that I upload like a lot of guides on. And dungeons have not changed much since update 3. Literally, back in update 3, you can do dungeons very, very easy. Update 4, they changed it so where you can't do it as easy because of the block change. So people were like, okay, this is harder for fruitless people, but if you still have like a flight fruit like Mara or Sooner or something, you can do it easy. Now, they changed it to where even if you had a flight fruit, the gun people stunned you. So it was basically impossible for regular people, but it was hard for the flight people as well. They reverted that change. So now it's back to sort of update 3. The only difference is when the bosses spawn, they attack you immediately. This is not really that much of a change to dungeons. This doesn't make them any more interesting, really. You can still sit there and flight fruit and literally watch a show while doing dungeons. I'm not saying this is a problem. I'm just saying dungeons should feel more engaging and it's like something exciting. I don't. If they don't change it, that's fine in my opinion, but I feel like they should just be slightly more exciting. And so lastly is going to be PvP. Now, PvP is something that I think is definitely GPO's strong suit. Its visuals and its PvP is something that a lot of people enjoy. They log on to, they play it every day, they have high win streaks, high wins. But in the end game, when you're really just the two things you can do is farm for jobs, get fruits, and fight, the PvP really isn't that like fun for a lot of people. When you're getting like 80% of your HP getting chunked off in one combo, that's not fun to people. Like that's just not really that interesting. And there's no counter either. There's no combo escape. You just get your HP chunked, and that is it. You have to try to fight now. And also, if you have like Rokushiki and you're low health, you can't even dash properly because like when Rokushiki you're low health, you don't move anywhere. So you're actually at a disadvantage with a certain fighting style. So it makes no sense. Like, the PvP in this game is just very weird. Like I said before in another video, it's not unbalanced. It's the combos that are unbalanced. Gold black like pole is something like unbalanced, but I don't know a way to like fix that problem. The only thing I can think of is add counters to the game, like add counters to fruits. Like Gura already has a pseudo counter, but you can't escape combos. Like having a method to escape combos, but it like punishes the player in some way. Like it takes a chunk of stamina to escape a combo. So people have to manage their builds, because right now stamina is just something that you really just have to look at occasionally and be like, okay, maybe I'll just play it safe for like maybe 10 seconds, and boom, now you're back in it. So people would actually have to focus on builds. There won't be these high HP builds, no stamina, and they're still doing like 40 M1 with black leg. Like those builds don't make sense to me. Like, how is that possible? So lastly is the ways to get fruits. Now this is basically the entire end game. You're just switching your fruit, trying to play the game in different ways as you're doing all these activities that I mentioned. So the way to get fruits is literally just shit farming. Like, all these methods can give you fruits. Technically, they all can give you fruits, but the drop chances for shit farming, cracking farming are basically impossible. Like 1% is not good at all. Like, no one's gonna actively try to do this for 1% unless, like I said, they're doing AFK methods. Boss farming, even though I said everything, you can't get fruits from that. And dungeons and PvP. Now you could get PvP fruits, you can, but you need to be like super high in the leaderboard in win streaks, and not everybody can get up there. Like, it's literally impossible for everyone to get up there. So only like 5 people can get fruits. Granted, you get to pick the fruit, but only 5 people can get said fruit, which is terrible. I think PvP should, give you fruits after like say 15 wins. You get a fruit drop. It's not a legendary, it's not a rare, no, it's just a random fruit drop after 15 win streak, and every 15 after that you get another fruit, another fruit, another fruit, and after say 100 win streak you get a legendary guarantee, something like that. Like, 100 win streak is not something easy to pull off. It's not easy to pull off. So I think you should be rewarded for being able to win that consistently. And another thing is dungeons. Like I said, dungeons before, it's perfectly fine. It's the only way in the game to 100% guarantee that everybody can get a fruit. It's the only method in the game. Though the drop chances is still like 4% and 8% on 2 times Logia, it's still an okay mode, and I think it's decent. I think it needs a slight change to make it more interesting, but I think it's alright the way it is. So that's basically the current state of GPO. I basically talk about the end game mostly, because as you're leveling up, like I said, it's okay, it's fun, but once you get to the end game, the game you're basically just looking at a cooler block shits at the end. Like it's not something you actively want to do. So that's the end of the video. I basically wanted to come up here and tell you about how I felt about it, because I was feeling a little bit bored of it, but I have been enjoying PvP a little more lately, so I'm gonna upload a little more of that. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I'll see you on the next one.